It's time out corner. Stop that. And you are in the corner. Sorry about that, people. These dang trolls be tickling my feet. Oh shoot. No, I'm just playing on this. It's supposed to be a serious video or audio. Let's get started, shall we? This video is brought to you by this video is brought to you by The Last of Us, courtesy of IGN. But no, I'm not going to talk about The Last of Us. I had no issues with the Last of Us score, at least not on the PS3 version. I thought that score, is what it got, so is what it got. PS4 version score, yeah, okay, whatever. But this video is brought to you by that game though, because this is what made me think of the video. But anyways, yeah, what I mean by the video, hopefully if you've seen the title, you should have, you clicked on the video. But if you want a better explanation, maybe you look at the description. If you have, check it out, whatnot. Maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. But hopefully I can, get your brain around what I'm trying to say with the rest of this video clip. So, now, this video is mainly aimed at major media gaming websites or gaming outlets and major journalists. Yeah, pretty much. Now, what I mean by the title basically is, can reviewers use the opinion escape route to hide certain parts about the game? Or can people use opinion as an excuse for why a certain game got scored? I think so. Because when you look around the internet, and I'll explain what I mean, a lot of people say, oh, they reviewed that game, but it's just an opinion, so you shouldn't worry about that. To me, yeah, when you review games, it is an opinion, but there's also facts about the game that you can't ignore. The whole game is not based on an opinion. There's facts to the game. And this is what I think, and I'll give an example real quick. I think journalists in these game medias, they can be biased. Recently, there's been some ridiculous reviews, some stuff that don't even make sense, things that they're supposed to be following some sort of guide on, for them. But honestly, they're not really, if they have a guide, they're not following it. If they have a, system in place to rate games, they're not following it. They're just doing whatever they want. To me, that leads to people assuming that they're being biased. That leads to a lot of controversy. That leads to a lot of debates, heated debates and stuff. Because how can you be seen as being honest and have integrity if you're just everywhere with your reviews? If you're not consistent along all your games, if you're not being consistent, giving every game the same treatment, how can you be considered reliable? What I'm talking about now is one of the main games I think was one of the most ridiculous cases was Grand Theft Auto. Y'all know what happened to that. That'd be a whole documentary trying to explain that thing. But here's what I mean though by my title. Alright, and I'll give a quick example real quick. Let's say you have game A, alright, and you have game B, alright, and you have somebody about to review a game on it. So usually there's a few categories they review: graphics, gameplay, controls, smoothness of the game, whatever, all that stuff. But we're just gonna look at the control category for an example. So let's say you're about to review the controls, alright. So for game A, for the controls, you say, okay, the button layout was perfect, alright. The way you controlled the characters was perfect. The menu selection was perfect. The way the camera movement moved around whenever you selected something in the game was perfect. The only issues with the controls were when you pushed the A button, there was a slight delay when you pushed the A button. Other than that, everything is perfect. But because of that delay, I'm docking it 2 points for the controls, and I'm giving the controls an 8 out of a 10. No problem there. Alright, cool. No problem there. But for game B, let's just say everything was the same, down to the freaking A button having the delay when you push the A button. Everything else is perfect, just like game A. Button layout was perfect, controller scheme, the way you control the players, the characters, the way the camera moved when you select things and in the menu and stuff. Everything was perfect in game B, but just like game A, when you push the A button, there was a slight delay. Now, unlike game A though, instead of using the fact that there's a delay when you push the A button, instead of using that fact to downgrade it 2 points and give it an 8 out of 10 for controls, you decide to use your opinion for the controls and give it a 10 out of a 10 and say, oh, when I played the game, I was okay with it. I had no issues with it. I was able to play it smoothly. It was good. The controls are perfect. Yada, 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 yada. You used your opinion instead for this game and gave it a 10 out of a 10. Yet for the game A, even though it had the exact same issue as game B, you gave that 2 points less because you used the fact instead of the opinion. This is what I think a lot of reviewers do when they're reviewing games. They'll give certain games different treatments. They won't be consistent with the reviews. Now, I think there needs to be a better system in place for all of these major websites and journalists. There needs to be like a standard system in place. Now, when I say standard, I don't mean like standard across like the board. Like, I don't think IGN, GameSpot, etc., should all have the same rating system, the same standard in place. I just think they all need to come up with a better system to where people can't blame them or accuse them of being biased for whatever reasons. Getting paid under the table, getting extra benefits, or maybe they just like the company or developer that much or the game. They just want to be biased towards that game or whatnot. But to eliminate people, or at least to minimize people's doubts, or people feeling they're being honest with the reviews, not being honest with the reviews, there needs to be a better system in place. It's like I said, yes, when you review a game, there's an opinion about it, but there's also facts to the game that you can't ignore. And if you're going to dock a game for a certain issue, then you got to be the same across all games and dock each game for that same issue the same way you dock that game for that same issue. And I don't think these reviewers are doing that. I don't think they're being honest. I don't think they're being, I think they're using their opinion as a reason for certain scores too much. And these fans are eating it up like, oh, it's just their opinion. You have no right to criticize them for their opinion. That's what they thought. They liked the game. They enjoyed it. It's just their opinion. You can't knock them for a review. You're right. But there's also facts to the game. And the fact is, it was this issue. How can you get a perfect when they had this issue? If they got to do, to me, like I said, if it had been a different game or whatever, maybe it'd have been a different result. But that's pretty much what I'm saying. Biased by opinion. Are people using their opinion to hide facts about the game if they want to give it a better review? Because if you review a game based on your opinion, then you can pretty much say E.T. was the perfect game in the world because you enjoyed it. The way I played it, the way I enjoyed it, the way it was controlled, to me was perfect, was flawless. 10 out of 10 E.T., so yes. So to me, there needs to be a better system in place to account for the facts, and match them up with your opinion and average all that out maybe. I'm going to try to integrate something like this on my website that I'm building, working on for a few months. Hopefully it comes up good. If I can't, then I won't include it on the site. But I just think there needs to be a better system in place. I think they can do that to help them be more, credible, even though they're already major sites. But they're losing a lot of their credibility because recently, over the last 2 years, most likely, actually, yeah, there's been a lot of controversy. Like I said, a lot of people have been doubting these reviews. Been a lot of debating going on, but that's pretty much it. That's what I think. I think these reviewers use their opinion to hide facts of the game when they want to give the game a good score. Or they just completely change the whole review process, i.e. Grand Theft Auto, and just do some ridiculous crap that's never been done before. But yeah, that's pretty much it. You guys can get our time out. You know how this goes. You're not in trouble anymore, but you're still stupid. I'm getting out of here. Trolls, you may continue tickling the feet. Yeah, that's it.